What's going on, Guardians? My name is XCalion, and it's a somber day for we hunter mains out here in the Destiny-verse. The TWAB came out today, and I'm not going to cover everything in the TWAB. We'll do that on Saturday on the podcast. I'm going to talk specifically about a controversial topic, which is something I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to cover more controversial stuff, just some kind of, Destiny news type stuff. And this one seems like kind of a big deal, and I'm going to try to attack it from both sides so that we can kind of maybe come to an understanding or maybe an agreement about it. I don't know, maybe there's an agreement that can be had, but basically they added a new stat for weapons. That stat is airborne effectiveness. It's a totally new stat. It's going to be a hidden stat just like your other hidden stats. And basically it's going to scale from 0 to 30, from 30 to 50 or 60, from there to 70, from 70 to 99, something like that. I don't know. And then 100. And basically it's going to affect everything from cone angle to aim assistance, everything while you are in air. And of course this is going to be very different on a hand cannon than it is on something like a scout rifle or something. And they also did a pretty good job, I will say, of keeping it more effective on primaries and less effective on specials. So, all of that's fine. But they did come out here and they said this: exotic armor that revolves around being airborne or works on specific weapons, grants a bonus or penalty in the minus 50 to plus 40 range or higher if conditional. Now, I wish they would have worded this a little differently, because they say grants a bonus or penalty, and there's only one penalty, and it's to Stomp-ee5, and it's crazy. So 2 Stomp-ee5, minus 50 to all. So whatever you're running, it's going to have a minus 50 to its stats, to its aim airborne effectiveness stat, right? I've seen a lot of commentators in the past several months, complain about Stomp-ee5 as a movement exotic. And I've, kind of played with the argument as to why some of the other movement exotics are, more beneficial, and how Stomp-ee5 is, pretty neutral. And I say neutral because it doesn't really do anything except your maneuverability. This is pretty big because as a hunter main, there are a lot of other hunter mains out there that whenever they're doing like higher end content against, let's say for example 1v1s or trials or something like that, they'll use Stomp-ee5 because it is very effective for longer slides, faster movement speed, higher jumps, yes, of course. And I think that people kind of get the feeling that Stomp-ee5s are overpowered. I get that. I understand. I think, understanding from a hunter's perspective, whenever it comes to something like transversive steps, which give a movement boost, right? A speed boost to your movement speed. I don't remember if it gives a slide boost or not. I'm not a warlock main here, so maybe I'm wrong. But the ability to basically have auto-loading holster on any weapon is really, really good. And then, of course, for your Titans, you've got your your legs for your Titans, but those are fine. No one complains about those. I don't even think hunters complain about those. This is interesting because the minus 50 seems excessive, right? That seems really excessive. Like, whatever weapon you're using is basically going to have a 0 airborne effectiveness. There's no, and I don't think this would be maybe as big a deal if there was something else on here that was a penalty. There's no other penalties on here though. None. It's very interesting. And they did some cool things here, like exotics that affect, specific, types of weapons. Moccaneer's trick sleeves with sidearms, of course. Great. Oathkeepers for bows, that's huge. Lucky Pants with hand cannons. Down here, of course, you know, your Peacekeepers for submachine guns. And this one's really interesting. I really like this, actually. Boost of the Assembler with plus 32 Lumina. That's actually really cool. But this seems excessive, and I released a video the other day where I mentioned that the best way to take care of your armor is inside of PvP is to just turn off the stats. The armor stats, not your weapon stats, of course. The weapon stats are the only thing that should really matter inside of PvP. And instead of nerfing the armor stats, you're nerfing the weapon stats because you choose to wear this exotic. I've seen several hot takes on this, people that are very frustrated, of course. I don't know that I care one way or another. I wear plenty of exotics. Heck, Foe Tracer might be a very viable option now, and I love Foe Tracer. But there's plenty of options out there. And I'll probably just start maining something else from now on whenever it comes to that higher end content. I did like Stomp-ee5, but, you know, Void 3.0 is a huge thing right now, and maybe I'll put on, you know, something else. Something that helps out, maybe Graviton Forfeit or something. I don't know. But I do understand the frustration. This seems like it's really excessive. I think Bungie went a little bit too balls to the wall with this because, you know, besides your outliers, like your content creators out there that have been calling for, you know, the Stomp-ee5 nerf, I can definitely see that there's I feel like a plethora of hunter mains out there that are really frustrated by this, to the point of, you know, talking about, you know, quitting the game. And say what you will about that, you know, I don't know. I do understand the frustration being a hunter main. But again, I'll probably just move on to using something else, you know. I was a Dragon Shadow main for a long time. I'll probably go back to doing that. So, I get it. You guys let me know what y'all think. I've told y'all what I think. You know, this is a tough one. I'll be real, I'm gonna, you know, if I can continue to rise in prominence as a content creator myself, I'm gonna keep pushing for this idea that we nerf the stats on armor while we're in PvP. I think that would fix a lot of our problems, but that's for another time, I guess. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, don't forget to do all that fun stuff. Check me out on Twitter. I'm on Rumble now. Check that out. I appreciate you guys, and as always, Godspeed, my friends.